back to me. She left me down in the mouth.
Please make welcome to the stage the man they have called the Beast. Oh, hey, right on cue. The master of poetry, beast master of the verb, the conjugator, Mr. James Jackson. Insert clap. Thank you.
Welcome to Australia. Vote Labor. Fear Chopper. Watch Neighbours. And home and away. Don't be gay. Except Molly. He's okay. Go to uni. Get a degree. From RMIT. In IT. Drive a taxi. Earn some money. Picking up rich kids from the city. Better you than me. Get your name translated. Or abbreviated. Or pick another name instead. Like Tim or Jim or John or Jack or Tom or Ron or Ned. Stay away from the smack or we'll get the media up your crack. And don't see your neighbour's dope plants growing out the back. Get a slab of Vic, drink 'em quick. Get violently sick and hug your mates like a drunken prick. Get national pride, get genocide, get youth suicide, get the Great Divide. Get naturalised, get anaesthetised, get bastardsised, get 4 and 20 pies. Get into our history. Captain Cook and Ned Kelly, Simpson and his donkey, Jason and Kylie. Go see the dog in the tucker box, lick the sweat from Kathy Freeman's socks. Admire John Farnham's golden locks and suck every one of Silverchair's cocks. Get into the cricket, Jesus. Cheer for each wicket, then go to a picket and tell Nike where to stick it. Get into our literature, I mean other than Chopper. Get Max Walker and Bryce Courtney up ya. Get it a hotted up car, get the knowledge to say, nah, fuck Fords, Holdens are better to some dickhead in a bar. Yeah, cheers, mate. Get into our Aussie art, a good place to start is fucking Ken Doan or Rolf Harris or Dead Pro Hard. Go to the March on Sorry Day, get sorry and never ever say you were more sorry when they axed hey hey. Go on a crusade for Australia made, get the brands on parade and make sure the girls in the sweatshops get paid. Get yourself a barbecue, buy it brand new, keep it clean whatever you do in case the neighbours talk about you. Raise your children to be Australian so they can use their origin to rest their beer on. So get to it. Don't wait. Together, We can make Australia great. And if you do these things, you'll assimilate. And then you'll be our mate. Fucking... Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am James Jackson, and that poem was called Then You'll Be Our Mate, an oldie but a goodie. It's going to be a bit of a patriotically themed reading from me tonight, considering the time is upon us. Driving here through the mean streets of Fairfield and Northcote, I saw various posses of would-be Cronulla rioters sort of wandering the streets, you know, shaved heads. Don't you fucking hate people who shave part of their heads? Bullshit, isn't it? And, you know, with kind of bleached blonde girls all drinking on the streets. I thought, yeah, that's a class act, but, you know, I should have invited them along, but then there's the issue of my personal safety. Ladies and gentlemen, the thing is, this Australia Day, I feel a little bit ambivalent to this nation that I love because last year I had a little bit of trouble with the authorities. Anyway, I am at liberty to talk about it now, and so I will enlighten you with this poem. You see, I suppose I should have known that night I came home to find someone had broken in. They'd been through my jewellery box but hadn't nicked my bling. They drank all the beers in the fridge, left my first edition Clockwork Orange, yet they had been through the filing cabinet and all my poetry was missing. Now, a victim of severe misgivings and bemused at how these crims were making a living, eventually giving in, I abandoned understanding the thieves' intentions and wrote them off as kids with gravely misplaced literary pretensions. Now in hindsight, I should have recognised the crackles and snaps of phone taps. Instead, I rationalised my connection was bad. That's why my conversation sounded like a Rice Bubbles ad. I put it down to John Howard and Telstra privatisation, the nation losing faith and share prices deflating, sometimes dropping as low as Sol Trujillo's approval rating. That's why I was surprised one night when I walked out of a bar, got jumped by 4 chumps and stuffed in a government car shouting, "You gonna tell me who the fuck you are?" Yet they failed to acquiesce to my request. Instead, I was cuffed and blindfolded like Hannibal Lecter, my arms strapped to my chest, a ball gag silencing any further protest, and the indignity worse than all the rest. For my mysterious and unknown crimes, the car radio was on Triple M and they played Creed 3 times. And now down in the interrogation dungeon, I was freed and told to take a seat and meet the government's answer to O'Brien, a fine specimen of the middle-aged liberal Camberwell denizen, the kind of arsehole responsible for work for the dole. The sort of bureaucratic snake in the grass who would tear down skate parks because they're not economically viable. "Hello," he hissed. "I suppose by now you know you've been taken in for questioning by ASIO." "Don't try to tell me you're a spy," I replied. "You look like an extra from a Seekers video. And if this is ASIO, I want my phone call. The phone is on the wall. Just don't mention to them where you are or who you're with." "Nice one, they'll just think I'm pissed." "Are you even gonna tell me what I've done?" "That information is classified and requires a security pass for level 1. Now, I really can't see the problem, all right? I don't remember converting to Islam unless I was so pissed at the time I was convinced Jihad Jack was the guy who tagged with the Iron Sheik at WrestleMania 5. And someone mentioning Guantanamo Bay caused me to say, "Hey, geez, make mine a double with a little parasol and can you get me some smokes, anything but menthol only if you're passing the machine on the way." "Are you trying to tell me you still have no idea why you've been brought here? Well, sure, I know I've worn a beard and acted weird for a period of years, but that can't be the reason for this undue attention. Is Rodney Rude also under investigation? Don Burke likes buying fertiliser. Is he in trouble too? And has Peter Russell Clark bitten off more than he can chew? Where's the cheese? We ask the questions here, get on your fucking knees! Now, for fuck's sake, man, I'm just asking you to choose. Should I go to the press, leaving you to lose a messy suit and making me a martyr for the cause against anti-terrorism laws, and have the Melbourne Uni lefties marching on the lawn? You're not ranting at the Dan now, young man. Can't you see? The problem is your poetry. It's vicious, seditious, and not at all funny. Couldn't you try to be more like Les Murray? Come on, let's hear it for Les Murray. God damn. You idiots think I take a side, man. You think I toe a party line. Why don't you try to understand? I count my loyalties to parties on the finger of one hand of an armless child whose mum took thalidomide, more deformed and contorted than the fetus Tony Abbott had aborted. That's exactly what I mean. It's not your politics, and you're not a terrorist from what we can so far glean. What really is troubling us is your un-Australianness. What's really troubling me, I replied, is the way you just say that word. I know John put it in the lexicon and would not be deterred. So, is double plus ungood going to replace dire straits? Well, double plus good sum up a fuck with Natalie Bassingthwaite. How dare you? She's on Neighbours and probably blow. It's always summer in Ramsay Street, but there's plenty of snow. And 16-year-old girls sick with disappointment they can no longer make themselves vomit by sticking their fingers down their throats. Where did their gag reflex go? Fucking someone in casting will know. Jeez. Leaping to his feet, he screamed, "It can't be so!" Yeah, it's worse than that highly confidential AFL medal, like the Norm Smith, but not for best on ground or goals kicked. It's the Gary Ablett medal for the player who raped the most chicks. That doesn't exist! Yeah, like Bert doesn't get pissed and ratty and smack the shit out of Paddy. Now we all see how well he taught little Maddie. Lunging at my throat, he wailed, "Monster of poetry," I replied, stepping to the side as security guards rushed through the door. And furthermore, said I, no one is going to tell me my country should be full of aspiring Shane Warnes, butte dumb, anti-intellectual and ignorant to boot. "He's up," said a guard. "No more. Look at the poor bugger, he's shaking on the floor. And he's sweating like the yellow wiggle hanging for a fix. Can't you people understand that's why he quit? How's that, you may plead? Well saved like sherbet living in Belgrave dealing speed. Your ideal Australian is something like David Hicks, militaristic, patriotic, slow of wit and quick of fist. A horse you can lead to water and then make him drink." Grabbing me, one of the guards said, "You're sick, we're taking you to the shrink." "Ray, my former interrogator," I replied, "I think first you should get him to the sink. He's losing colour like a Cronulla riot, or worse for the drink, because he knows I've exposed a terrible revelation in this love letter to my nation. Right now he's the top and happy with his station. But 20 years on, I might mention I can see him with dementia in his room in the nursing home alone until erupting with frustration when interrupted by nurses while he's trying to jerk the gherkin over penthouse spreads of Bindi Irwin. Hell, I think he's learning, man. Interrogation, intimidation, even home invasion, brainwashing hells and dirty cells, even throwing the keys down the wells, ID cards, hard yards, getting beaten up by security guards, race division, segregation, the lie of a divided nation. Will never convince us we're not Australian. So here I stand, a free man. Try and convict me if you can." But they didn't, and I was let go on the proviso that I tell no one about my brush with ASIO. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. As a final tribute to my country, I'm going to drop my pants, so... Everyone watch The Goodies, a bit like Tim Brooke Taylor, isn't it? You know. I've been working on, what's that muscle there? I don't know, anyway.
Leg muscle.
Yeah, the leg muscle, the upper leg muscle. That's what we call it. We don't need anatomical definitions in this country, thank you very much. All right, some of you have heard this one before. I'm going to finish it off, and if I'm not beaten up already, I reckon this is going to just do the trick. Ladies and gentlemen, with my pants down, I present to you...
Go to country Victoria, then you'll get beaten up.
Yeah, that's true. Could be some fun.
Get away from these Melbourne bars, they're all camping.
Yeah, they're all a bit sort of like that, aren't they?
You know, do what you like, rubbing on.
Pack some...
I'll get him to write us down.
Right, okay, get that down. I'll pack some heat. I'll go down there. Ladies and gentlemen, I was looking at a sign today at Red Rooster and I saw the words Aussie Roast and I thought, by Christ, I've written a poem with the same name, and this is it, ladies and gentlemen, Aussie Roast. It was after a song by Gore-Tex called Celebrity Roast. Do you ever know who Gore-Tex is? No, I didn't think you would, but that's okay. Strange set of circumstances that I even know he was. Aussie Roast, ladies and gentlemen. I want to tell you right now that Nicole Kidman is a hermaphrodite. Keith Urban legends have it she runs the whole gamut. He loves her country and western variety more than sniffing Araldite. And I'm about to pick a fight with Russell Crowe. I'm ready to dodge phones, and you know I always thought he was roid raging worse than Ian Thorpe. This is Today Tonight, and I'm Naomi Robson, casting the first stone without sin, but getting paid in rocks for sucking the cocks of gangsters and corrupt cops. Celebrities always get off. But they say it's quite the folly to let your teenage sons near Molly, and it was Gary Ablett with the tablet in the hotel suite. Don't tell me after that 18-year-old girl OD'd he didn't give her one for the team. Fuck yeah. He's a typical fundamentalist Christian like Guy Sebastian the Virgin, because fucking blokes doesn't count and he doesn't have the balls to come out. Missy Higgins kissed a girl, now she's got the gay market. Graham Kennedy got AIDS, you might say he fucked it. But if you're free from disease and you've got 30 G's, Nicky Webster can give you a night to remember. You'll feel like the king of Moomba, like Zig the Clown raping his granddaughter, more real than a convicted pedophile at every children's hospital appeal. As if Steve Vizard needed to steal. Eddie Maguire bones reporters, but they don't always get fired. Nick Brack shoots smack, that's why his daddy retired. The Chasers shoot more coke than the D-generation. Johnny Young gave those kids a special education. I'm dancing with the stars, and I'm knifing my partner, like Pauline Hanson cruising bars for a man to part her thighs for the hidden camera eyes like her mother would, then slip the tapes to the States for the Aryan Brotherhood. The cult of personality is a phony religion, worse than Scientology, a charlatan vision. Lose your thetans like Kate Sobrano and go on a mission to lie in your wide pockets of a false American prophet, and losses are all that matter to the Packers. James is an Australian psycho with lipo and a hypo, and Matty Newton's a sexual freak. He's beating on some chick as we speak. Hang on, folks, hey, come on. All right, I'm just trying to speak openly. And I know this poem should come with warning stickers, but I hope it touches you inappropriately like Kevin Rudd at the strippers. The best publicity stunt since that Delta Goodrum cunt fake cancer to move units, desperate like Rex Hunt, trolling St Kilda with no nets. No kissing, the fish that John West rejects. Don't question the potion that Ben Cousins injects or its effects. Not drastic, he was always a spastic. Don't smoke near Paul Hogan, his face is plastic. Check the cinema list for Mad Mel beyond Auschwitz. The critics said a pathetic Catholic alcoholic racist spewing more vicious bile and anti-Semitic than bulimic Daniel Johns after taking an emetic. It's endemic, and I'm not asking you to believe what I say. I'm just digging the dirt to expose their feet of clay. Yeah, cover your eyes, Australia. My name is James Jackson. Thank you very much.